Tranquility.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another incredible night of Overwatch Tranquility action coming at you tonight. It's going to be a little bit of Harmony tier play as DDoS and Boop, both 1-0 currently, look to take one another down and make one another take a loss. Casting for you tonight will be me, Dor, and I've got beside me, usually on production, you're here casting with me. It's Juke. How you doing?
Doing great. Glad to be casting again. Really excited for tonight's match. A new Boop starting off the season with a win against DDoS, looking to maybe get revenge against some people who didn't believe in them last season.
Yeah, there was a little bit of lack of belief, but I'm looking at this new roster and it looks pretty good. Sitting on the DDoS side, it's going to be Thuggington, Mix Ready, Rubik's, Starcastic, your teammate, Ski for Yeti, Let's Break It, and Blue. There's a couple names that really stand out there to me, though, and those have got to be Rubik's and your teammate, two very, very standout Harmony tier players from last season, and I'm excited to see what they can do moving on to this match. You want to break down the Boop lineup for us, though, Juke?
Yeah, on Boop we have Alayla, Kinney, Chicane, Mr. Trippy Cow, Waffle Man 1, and Enchanted.
Yeah, and there's a lot of new names over here. In fact, very few that I actually recognize, and so I think it's really going to have to be Boop coming in, showing that moxie, showing that determination that they can make a name for themselves here in Overwatch Tranquility, because these players, like I mentioned, they've got a lot to prove, and if there's a team to start doing it against, it's got to be this DDoS lineup.
Yeah, sorry, very distracted. Not changing their icons to match, making it very hard on me. This new lobby organizer.
Yeah, it's always the worst being lobby organizer. Something's just bound to go wrong at some point in time, but regardless of what goes wrong in the lobby, eventually it will have Overwatch, and I think these two teams are really, really well matched up. Boop, this lineup, like I mentioned, a lot to prove. They're looking pretty solid so far, and DDoS is one of those teams that, with these off-season upgrades, I think they're looking really solid. Your teammate for me, just, again, it has to be the standout pick for me. He was, I think, Harmony tier, one of the nominees for MVP, if not the Harmony MVP from last season, and he has absolutely impressed me on everything he's done, and so he'll have some stuff to bring going into this match, but it looks like the first pick of map has come out from DDoS, and it's going to be Lijiang Tower. What do you think this means, Juke?
Not sure. To be honest, I haven't gotten a chance to see DDoS yet. It is their map pick, so I'm not exactly sure what they're planning. Also, a short note, no Thuggington tonight. He is out in, I believe, the Caribbean or some other fantastic island destination. Really has his priorities wrong. Not, coming back immediately to play in this match.
It's all right. We've got the one and only Ski for Yeti on the team, so the admins are more than represented here on the blue side as we're just about to hop into this map. I've got to get your prediction. I know you don't know much. I know we're just into the season, but if you had to take a guess, if you had to say it was going one way, where do you see it going, Juke?
Well, I have seen Boop, and Boop has been very good, much improved from last season. Very impressed with what they've done so far, taking a 4-0 win against Flashbacks, who is a team I was expecting a little more from. But yeah, I think Boop is going to be able to pull it out. I am a little interested. I haven't paid too much attention to Mr. Trippy Cow. He started last season as a tank in Harmony tier, moved over to tank in Discord tier. I don't think his SR limited him from playing any particular role. I'm not 100% on that, but he's playing DPS this season. I know he's a good player. And I'd like to see what he can bring on the DPS, as it looks like he might be starting out on that Symmetra to get them there real fast.
It might just be to roll out here, but actually, looking at this Lucio Moira, I think we're going to see some interesting things come out from the side of Boop. So I'm not really sure. That's the really nice thing about casting Harmony tier, though. You really don't know what to expect. Meanwhile, On the DDoS side, it's going to be pretty much a completely standard comp. That Mei McCree that we've seen so often paired up with the D.Va is going to look to roll all over this point. Meanwhile, it looks like Boop are sticking on that Symmetra, and they want to take this point very, very quickly here. Mix ready, already checking out the Fire Strike, trying to take this position in white. Meanwhile, Ski Free Eddie on the DPS, trying to put in some damage on the side, but it's a really tough neutral fight here while the Symmetra's already set up on point, and that's going to be a pick already. Let's Break It goes down on the Ana here, taken down by the Fire Strike of Kenny, and with Chicane gone, that's actually both of the main heals gone, so it's going to be pretty difficult here for DDoS to push into this point against all that poke damage, against those Symmetra turrets. They've got to get in first, but that Mei wall might just be their ticket in. In fact, no, it's your teammate getting separated away from his team. Ski Free Eddie, though, takes it back for him, taking down Waffle Man and Kidney as well. The Reinhardt now gone, the main tank gone. The point cracked wide open here. The push starting to come in from DDoS, and the kills are all Blue in the feed. Alayla getting wailed on by Let's Break It, trying to get a little revenge here for earlier, and this looks like it might just be a Kinney's stuck on the point, and the sound barrier already chucked out by Blue. Maybe a little bit aggressive, but nonetheless the point shall be taken at just above 28%.
Yeah, I was a little worried with what DDoS were doing there at the beginning. I think they should have gone in a little bit earlier to prevent all this cap percentage. You see 36% going to Boop, even though they eventually lose the fight. But looks like the plan there was just have Ski Free Yeti poking from the back, trying to get those dinks with McCree. Eventually he does break through, and because Blue was the only healer for some time, he gets an incredibly fast beat. He's able to finish off the fight there. Now trying to push in, they do have the big barrier from Trippy Cow. Yeah, you can see that can be such a pain as they charge in, but they get the separation.
And a great wall here coming out of your teammate is going to allow this team to back off. In fact, separating off Kenny. Now a great anti-nade lands down onto 3 members here of Boop as they make their way onto the point. The Blizzards are coming out though, trying to get their way onto this point. Boop has finally done it. They bought themselves space, but isn't going to be enough to get the damage in. Kenny, no, he takes out Mix Ready on the Reinhardt here. DDoS now left without a main tank, but the Blizzard here is huge out of your teammate, freezing absolutely everybody on Boop, stuck in their places, unable to do anything. Mr. Trippy Cow goes down, and that's going to be the final kill they need. Now 50% down onto the point here for DDoS.
Yeah, there were a few things that DDoS could have done a little better there. The wall coming in from Trippy Cow, it didn't really separate the fight. It just gave them a little quadrant that they could sort of slide in, but it made it pretty easy to wall off the Rhine. And then I wish they would have held on to that beat. You really can't survive with just a beat against the Blizzard. It's such a powerful ultimate. Yeah, and they lose the main healer. They're really going to need to back off here.
Yeah, they really only get 1, maybe 2 more fights in here if they're lucky, a couple of staggers. But it looks like DDoS want to press the issue, deciding a little bit the wiser here, saying, you know what, we'll take our 1 push and we'll be done with it. But Blue actually managed to get his sound barrier up during that fight, which means it's going to be ready here for Alayla's Graviton Surge. Since he went down, he wasn't able to use it in that last fight, and now they have to make it past the wall of your teammate. They push in quickly. The wall cuts off 4, but it's not quite going to be enough. The Blizzard down on the point here. Waffleman looking to freeze everybody. The sound barrier used by Blue, but it doesn't catch the rest of his team. He's on the wrong side of the wall. Ski Free Eddie walled off, but oh my god, Starcastic does it! The bomb over the top, and Ski Free ends it with the Deadeye. 2 members remaining here for Boop on the point, but that's going to be all she wrote here for the first point. Is 99% ticks down, and DDoS lead the map 1-0.
Yeah, Ski Free Eddie really surprising me here, and he's showing off why McCree is the second DPS in this meta right now. Things move so slowly that McCree can get tons of damage in, and that Deadeye, it's hard to get around. You don't want to just rush right in, because then you're going to get walled off by Mei. Mei actually managed to get a wall right in his face, but he just waits it out and gets some picks when it goes down. Great job here from Ski Free Eddie.
Yeah, and they lose like real dangers at the end of that fight. Blue had used his sound barrier, but on the incorrect side of the point, so it only caught 1 of his teammates, not saving the 2 members that did end up going down. But luckily enough, that bomb and High Noon both came in extremely clutch. Like you mentioned, Ski Free Yeti is, no offense to Ski Free, I did not know he could pop off like that. This man is bringing a whole new meaning to the word Ski Free Yeti.
Yeah, bringing a whole new meaning to the word admin abuse, really plowing down through the members of DDoS here. And it looks like kind of an early wall, no cutoff, so this is going to give a big advantage to DDoS. Oh, but they missed the wall as well.
The ice block, though, is out from your teammate, and as Mix Ready gets separated from his team, this is going to be a pretty good push here for Boop. They have an opportunity to push the supports here. They're stuck out of position. It's Ski Free going down, being punished for his team's miscommunication. Now Mix Ready stuck in the 1v1, but down 1 DPS. He lacks a lot of pressure, and now he's cut off by the Mei wall. It's got to be DDoS just respecting Boop's pressure right now. Mix Ready now gone, and this is going to be a free push. We'll see how many kills that Boop can finish off this fight with, but they're going to get a lot of free ultage off of this.
Yeah, and you really see the power of the Junkrat here. Waffleman able to put so much pressure on Mix Ready's shield that he just cannot get aggressive. He is constantly backing up, giving up space. That's why Boop is able to get the point first, and that's why they're able to win that fight. Oh, and at the cutoff with the wall.
That's the wall that you were looking at in the last one, though, except your teammate did it significantly better than Trippy Cow did. He blocked off the enemy May wall. That way, him and his Reinhardt were able to move in for free and not get cut off properly. And that's really the May vs. May that you want to see moving into this map. That's some great stuff coming out from your teammate. Oh, but the Rip Tire. It's in from the high ground. The sound barrier from Blue, but it'll wear off. No! The tire blows up next to the wall, but the Blizzard still dropped on top here. Kenny looks for the charge. In fact, that's just going to clean it up nice and easy. 2 ultimates required, but nonetheless, Boop continue their iron grip on the point.
Yeah, and you see it there once again. The sound barrier is just not going to save your team from a Blizzard. If it manages to catch 5 or 6 like that, you should really hold on to it and save it for the next fight. They're going to be able to get 1 or 2 picks, which is all you need to win the fight. And it looks like they're going to be charging in here again. It's so hard to get past this barrier, and it looks like they're kind of spreading out and going through the suit room.
The appropriate rotations are already made by Boop. This one's going to be rough. Coalescence, though, used also out of Chicane, trying to push this one through, but it's not really going to do much. It's a nice little disengage, smartly backing off, and the Shatter committed as well here for DDoS. Oh, wait, no, DDoS are just going to go for the wraparound. They've got the moves. Are they going to make them? No, they're not fast enough. They're just going to sit outside the main door.
Yeah, it's really hard to get around a team and get this. Oh, there comes the wall again. They are split.
And the Shatter finds nobody. Waffleman stuck. The only man in the Blizzard. The High Noon, though, from Ski Free finds yet another one. The Blizzard, though, is going to hold everybody in place, and going down for it will be your teammate. The sound barrier is still in the back pocket of Enchanted. He's going to look to use it to hold out this fight. The overtime ticking down on the point. Trippy Cow finds another one, but going down himself. Let's break it. Nice little anti-knight trying to finish that one off, but DDoS are just so separated. They're unable to finish off any of these kills, and now they've got a full charge Zarya in their faces. It's a Layla burning through every member, and now the Rip Tire on top, and it's insult injury. It's salt in the wound here as Boop closed out the second point here on Li Zhang.
Yeah, and a big grab to finish it out there. It's just so difficult to find a solution to Mei. That's why Mei is just in every lineup right now, and why everyone hates it. There's always one hero in the meta that just not let you play, and right now that's Mei. I've talked about this before, but it makes positioning so awkward because normally in Overwatch you want to be like next to a wall, kind of have a place to peek in, peek out. But you just get so paranoid trying to do that against Mei. If you step 1 foot too far, you get cut off and killed, and the fight is over. So great job here from both Meis. I've seen good walls, and it looks like Mr. Trippy Cow back on the Symmetra, trying to get them to the point first in a defensive position. But Ski for Yeti might be doing the same.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. It's actually going to be pretty decisive who gets here first. Skiffy, though, looks like he might have a little bit of an advantage. Trying to get that teleporter down. It's down, but both teams are on, and it's an all-out brawl now as they make their way down. But a massive anti-nade hits 2 members here of Boop, and now the kills are going down, though. It's in their direction. It's DDoS completely split. Blue has managed to find a kill, but not quite as Starcaster goes down. That's a really, really quick fight here for Boop.
Yeah, speaking of heroes that can be hard to deal with, Waffleman doing a good job on the Junkrat. It's very hard to close in on a Junkrat. He's just able to throw those mines down and get a ton of space. I think he actually shot himself off the map, though, so could have gone a little bit better, as Mr. Trippy Cow almost has another wall. He's really charging up fast on this Symmetra.
Considering how quick that fight was, 97% is actually insane. Kenny actually already at 90% to his Shatter, and if you look at the side of DDoS, nothing above 50% other than Let's Break his Nano. So that's going to have to be a big one here, as this Symmetra is going to be extremely hard to push the point. They start to the TP, but the TP also coming out here from Boop. They make their way back on the point. They're going to utilize that wall to the best of their ability. Kenny, though, gets brought to Mix Ready. He's going to be looking for that pick, but he can't quite, as his entire team gets shot behind him, fighting 2 members. It's Kenny swinging through everybody that DDoS has to offer.
Yeah, it is very difficult to play through these fights when the wall comes down. In a much better position here from Mr. Trippy Cow in this fight. Splitting the fight right down the center, making it so his team can go back and forth between the wall. That thing has 1,000,000 health. You're never going to break it. You just have to try and play around it. And in a chaotic fight like that, when it sort of comes down in the middle, it's very difficult to do. They do have some ultimates coming up here. We're going to be looking for Mix Ready to find a way to shatter here in the next fight.
Really gonna be their only way in, but now the disengage starting to come out, but it's Symmetra going down. Trippy Cow is a lot of that damage, and now with him out of the way, Mix Ready is trying to make his way on the point, but he goes straight into a Junkrat trap. Now he's facing down the tire, takes down his main support, and he's gonna have a hard time making his way on the point. He's gonna be off the ski Ready to start dishing out this damage. Tries to find the kills. That's Waffle Man. Instead, the enemy DPS of Boop running through the roster of DDoS, putting in so much damage on this Junkrat. He's completely uncontested. And they're just being taken apart. DDoS can do absolutely nothing about this.
Yeah, Mr. Trippy Cow, a little too out of position there, away from his team, gets cut off. I think he was surprised by the Reaper coming in, but not much time left. Ski for Yeti trying to TP on top, barely gets the touch, he's taken out. Now, dire straits here for DDoS.
And that's going to be it. The Graviton Surge chucked out the bomb, trying to do something here from Sarcastic, but with Waffleman and Kenny in your face, what are you going to do about it? In the face of so much damage, in the face of such threats, Boop look absolutely incredible on this first map.
Yeah, and I get the feeling that these are comfort heroes coming out for Boop. We're seeing Junkrat, we're seeing Symmetra in places that are a little unusual, and I believe we had Moira on all sections of that map from Chicane. And I was a fan of the Moira. They were doing good work with the Moira, getting those coalescences fast, and just washing people down with that big beam, getting so much damage that it kind of forces a play or you get kills. So good job from Chicane, I want to call it. And even though they lost, very impressed with Ski Free Yeti.
Yeah, I've got it. Even on the side of DDoS, one of the biggest things I noticed, I really feel like Mix Ready and your teammate were playing the Ryan May better, and Ski Free Yeti honestly looked really, really good, especially on that first map. And so I think it's less an individual basis here for DDoS that they need to fix, and more so that it's issues as a team, issues pushing in, figuring out what ultimates Boop has, how they want to counter it. Because I think that's what it is. The second that Boop gets the point, they're using their momentum extremely well, and it feels like DDoS really isn't preparing for it.
Yeah, great job from both teams. I don't think anybody has anything to be ashamed of in that exchange. Sometimes you lose control. It happens. It can be a bit of a coin flip. I think both teams performed well. I'm not sure exactly what they want to do differently, but yeah, a little change, and it looks like DDoS has the map pick coming up of, I saw it there a second ago, my scroll wheel is broken.
It's Horizon, Hanamura, and Volskaya Industries. So Assault's one of those map choices that I think is really just not going to favor DDoS in any dimension. The way that Boop carry their momentum, the way that Boop defend chokes, I feel like that puts them at a really just massive advantage, even just playing 2CP at all. And so unless DDoS is able to break open the point on the first push where there's a neutral set of ultimates, I really think this is going to be a rough one for them. Unless they can improve the ult tracking, unless they can improve their team coordination and planning. That's such a hard thing to do, though, in the middle of the match.
Yeah, it can be very hard to make these mid-match adjustments, especially, you know, just between maps 1 and 2. Halftime, you get a little more time to think. It looks like DDoS will be going with Volskaya. I am glad that we don't have to see Horizon. So Volskaya, kind of a more open map. I feel like this might open up things for maybe a Pharah, maybe Tracer, something that can move around a little bit more, but we'll have to see how they can play it. You can kind of get slowed down and caught in that choke at the beginning of both points. So it's not off the table that we'll see, you know, just trying to run in with a Ryan Zarya, something like that. Still a lot of questions for exactly what's going to be coming up next map.
Yeah, DDoS looks like they're pretty intent on running the meta. I really liked what we were seeing out of the D.Va, especially on the first point. Obviously ended up winning it with that self-destruct, but I feel like it was significantly stronger than their Zarya. It really, really felt like Boop was winning on the Zarya end of things. DDoS felt like they weren't super comfortable on the hero. And so I'd rather see a swap to that meta composition. It feels like that's what they've been practicing. It feels like that's what they should go with. And I think Lijiang Tower is one of those maps that forces you to run a couple interesting comps with the Symmetra, with the point just being so weirdly out in the open and having such sight lines from the outside. And so moving on into the second map, I expect DDoS to run the meta composition again, and I expect them to do significantly better on it, but it's a question of whether or not they can get that coordination together.
Yeah, this is a meta where it's very important to work with your DPS. I think previous metas, it was kind of everything rotated around getting combos with Pull. Right now, it feels like everything is about getting combos with Mei. Mei, freezing somebody who's off to the side, Mei getting a wall to sort of split things up, catch people, protect people. The walls are very important, and how you use them can really dictate how you do in these fights. So I'm interested to see, I don't know if we're just being baited, but no Mei being selected so far from Boop.
Yeah, the Torbjorn might just be a hot swap.
Maybe.
Though I'd love to see it. It's Harmony tier. You honestly never know what you're going to get, and that's what makes it so fun to watch. It's just a barrel of monkeys when it comes to everything related to that. And Mr. Trippy Cow, I genuinely expect to stay on the Symmetra, try and TP out left. Blue, though, is going to be looking to thwart this one, and keep an eye out, because he could go for a cheeky little boop here if they commit to this. No, he'll back right off.
All right, and it looks like they're going to be going with Sim and back to Waffle Man on the Junkrat. So a lot of shield break here. There's going to be a lot of pressure on Mix. His shield usage is going to dictate how they do in this fight.
And already making their TP up onto the high ground. It's going to be Boop immediately taking a lot of this map control that they want. The Junkrat has the high ground that he needs, and pretty much the entire team on point without taking any poke damage here from DDoS. So now it's up to DDoS to make this engagement. It's so difficult against the Junkrat. But first down goes Kenny. He gets frozen up by the Mei, and he'll be taken out immediately. And now with no shield in their way, it's Mixed Ready's free real estate company as he rolls through everybody happy, just trying to stay alive, but it doesn't look like it's meant to be. Alayla's going to have to hop off the edge of the map alongside his Moira. A little bit of a trust fall there. If your friend jumped off the edge of the map, though, Juke, would you?
I mean, did we lose the fight? If we lost the fight, I'd probably just jump. That's what friends do. Friends don't stagger. But yeah, Red Boop here wants to play a very specific distance so that they can maximize damage on that shield and open things up. But good movement from DDoS to sort of shake people around, open things up, get angles for your teammate to get freezes. And yeah, eventually somebody gets caught out, and that ended the fight. Let's see if they're able to do any better as they're maybe TPing behind the team this time.
Oh, they're directly on top of the supports, and Ski Freeze in the way, but no! It's actually gonna be Chicane booping everybody for them, and no Blue! Oh my god! Living up to the enemy team's name, gonna be booping multiple members off the map.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Boop. I like the creativity going for that flank play with the TP, but it looked a little hesitant, a little delayed. If they had gone in there a little quicker and, really surprise them, it could have worked a little better. But great job from Mix Ready, realizing what was going on. The second he saw the shield down, hits with a big shatter, but some delays coming in here for DDoS. Ski for Yeti holding him off with the Deadeye.
And the Deadeye immediately finds Chicane, and now it's Kenny going down to the Blizzard. This pushes all but over, unless his tire can find something a little creative. He's headed around the back of the building. He's searching for his Ski for Yeti, who's been the bane of his team company. Will manage to find that kill, but now pushing out. It will be a nice reset here for Boop. They will have the spawn advantage, and nearly getting taken out is going to be Blue. Makes his way back to the high ground, but he's pretty safe here.
Yeah, and this is a bad situation for DDoS now. Ski for Yeti is cut off, and it looks like he's going to be sticking on the McCree. It's going to be a very long time before he's able to get back. He's not going to get taxis, so essentially one man up, a power play for Boop here.
And keep an eye of this Graviton Surge. It's a lot of damage going on into it. There's a Junkrat wailing in onto the side of DDoS and doing a lot of damage while he's at it. The sound barrier drops from Chicane just for safety's sake. Well, the kills are all red in the feed, as DDoS going to be giving up this first point.
Yeah, I think that was a bit of a mistake there from DDoS. I would have liked to see Skip for Yeti come back on the Tracer, so that way he's able to actually get to his team. I know it seems like he's very comfortable on this McCree, but if you're not in the fight, you can't contribute.
Yeah, and I really like the creativity we're seeing from Boop. That teleport behind DDoS actually was incredible. Chicane actually made a huge blunder, and when his main tank got flashbanged by the McCree, he decided to boop the two players that they would have gotten the free kills on away, which actually ended up saving Ski Free and Let's Break its lives. But they do manage to get the first point, and now they're looking to attack B with this tire. It will find Blue out of the blue. The Shatter searches, finds Starcastic, and now they've got the coalescence to follow it up. There's a lot of damage going down, but Mix Ready Shatter's going to be just enough. Followed up by the Nano Charge. Going to be taking out Kenny very quickly. The freeze is down, but there's just not enough damage to do it. The Blizzard, though, chucked out by your teammate may just be a little extra frosting on the cake here, but they think they need it because Alayla and Waffleman are still huge damage threats here for Boop. Trying to push the round to point, use those bubbles effectively, time your way in, reset softly, and progressively make your way onto the point. And Waffleman and Alayla have done a fantastic job of frontlining without their Reinhardt. Now it's all up to DDoS to push back onto this point. Stuck in the neutral, though, will be Mix Ready. Trying to come in from the side. He's in no man's land right now, getting swung on by Kenny, but he can't even make it the point on time. It's 2 minutes and 38 seconds on the clock as Boop finish off Volskaya.
Yeah, really struggling to get in there and contest the point. It looks like they had plenty of time. I was sure that DDoS was going to be able to get back on, but just a tiny little Boop is all it takes to delay them long enough to get the full cap, all 3 ticks at once. That is not what you want to see in this meta. Generally, it's considered that you're, against a team that's staggering correctly, especially on Assault, that you're not going to be able to get all 3 at once. You generally go, 1 tick at a time. So a bit of a team mistake there, I'd say, from DDoS, letting that all go at once. They had spawn advantage. There was still, I believe it was Waffleman coming back on the attack from Boop. So they were at a man advantage and weren't able to get it done. So questionable decision making from DDoS and a pretty fast time coming up for Boop here. 2:38 left on the clock.
Yeah, it's really nothing to scoff at. And I think the question really lies on DDoS here. Boop had a lot of really nasty tricks in their back pocket that caught DDoS off guard, but DDoS is running a composition that's very predictable. Everybody knows how this composition works. Everybody knows what your Mei is going to be looking to do. Everyone knows what your McCree is going to be looking to do. Everyone knows exactly who they need to kill to take it apart. And so DDoS have to play it very well, and just cleanly is kind of their answer to this Boop push. They don't have any tricks that they can pull, and so they're just going to have to do it themselves.
Yeah, definitely a good point. DDoS running a lot of these off-meta heroes on the attack. Looks like they will be sticking to something more traditional here, so we'll see if DDoS maybe have more experience on this, metaverse meta. Is Waffleman able to get the pick on your teammate? Mei down. This should be fight over. DDoS need to get out.
I was actually just about to make a point on how I liked how coordinated DDoS were in pushing to that point, but the Ryan drops a shield for a second and immediately gets punished for it. I know it's taking a lot of damage, but you got to hold on to it just a little bit longer, Mr. Ready. And yeah, they're just going to have to give it another go here. A little bit of ultimate charge given over. Kenny's up at 46. Mix Ready, though, is right up there with them. It's pretty even right now, and they're going to go for the same push, but the Reinhardt's cut off. Mix Ready's in a bad position. He gets charged down immediately. The Mei wall not going to be there. Escort him in. Your teammate not really doing the same thing we've seen out of him before, and Ski-Free's in a bad place. Yep, he'll be going down to Trippy Cow.
Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about with the Mei forcing weird positioning in this meta right now. On the first post, DDoS just avoided getting anywhere near walls, but in that situation, sometimes people get picked off, straying a little too far from the Rhine shield, or it drops from a moment. That time, they try to go through cover, and they get cut off by the wall. It's hard to find any way to get in on attack against Mei in this meta.
Yeah, and it looks like DDoS have done a decent job of it up until then, but getting cut off is bad, and Blue gets a little bit too big for his britches, tries to go over the wall instead of around, and he's going to get punished for it immediately. Your teammate getting taken down as well, and now the 2 tanks here for DDoS are just stuck in this room. Oh, nice little charge here coming out from Mix Ready. He'll get a bit of damage down. He gets bubbled. Actually, he's going to make it out. He always makes it out. Mix always makes it out.
Yeah, and looks like they do have the option of maybe some ultimates coming up. Almost 6 ultimates coming in for Boop, though, so not really an ultimate advantage, just some more options. So we'll see if they're able to do anything. Yeti has been great with these Deadeyes to open up space. Maybe that will be their option here, but no, they get spread from the wall and destroyed by Waffleman and Chicane.
Boop, they have families, they're living for stuff. You can't just kill them before they get to press Q. And now DDoS coming up on 6 ultimates as well. I honestly don't think this fares well. Boop play the ultimate, or at least have played the ultimate economy so far way better. And let's break this now. Stuck in the backline. He's just getting staggered for a very long time. Will go down with 1 minute and 15 seconds on the clock. This really isn't a pretty sight.
Yeah, that really bought a lot of extra time for Boop. Basically, one fight territory for DDoS coming up here because of the speed at which things progress with these Meis. So it's going to be very difficult to make it happen.
Yeah, they get one more chance. So it's 52 seconds on the clock. Mix Ready actually gets separated from his teammate, but the Blizzard's chucked in from both sides. The High Noon coming out from Wolfman here, and there's so many people in his sights. The Shadow comes out, and he's frozen before he can pull the trigger. Mr. Tripical finds the head of Blue, though, within that Blue. Ski Free Eddie, he's on the flank, but he doesn't have the angle that he wants. In fact, he's not there to watch his team die here. Is your teammate. And Let's Break It go down, and then following that, the rest of his teammates will fall to the Hammer of King.
Yeah, so DDoS gonna have like half a push coming up here. Alayla still has the grab as well. I don't think they're gonna be able to do it. Starcastic has his own grab, but yeah, 9 ultimates exchanged during that fight, and a little questionable from Ski Free Yeti this time. Going on a giant flank, trying to catch people in the backline does not work, and his team's kind of caught off without him. Mix Ready charging right into the backline, able to get the touch, so they'll at least have a chance here for DDoS.
They've got the grab down search, but is it too little, too late? Yep, all the kills are red. Turn it up here, and Boop look to pick up map 2 in a very, very commanding fashion.
A great job from Boop so far this match. I feel like I was questioning what they were doing, how they were going to transition into more of like a meta versus meta, but they've been doing great. Waffle Man has been doing excellent on the McCree, getting these picks. Anytime someone strays an inch from Nick's Ready's shield, they are getting punished with the dinks. I like what I'm seeing, and I'm not sure DDoS is going to be able to recover heading down 0-2 into halftime.
I mean, don't call me a prophet, but it is exactly what I said. DDoS held that choke like their lives depended on it, and it was just, or Boop held the choke, pardon me. DDoS really, the coordination just wasn't there for them as far as pushing in. On that last push, if Ski Free is going to be going on a flank like that, you need to be sure that you can push the enemy team back. They didn't realize that the Blizzard was just going to hold them in their place, and then Ski Free's stuck on the high ground with his pants down, High Noon loaded up, and nobody to shoot at.
Yeah, it was a bit of an awkward push. Right after DDoS got through the choke, they just sort of split everywhere, like they were avoiding the cops. I don't know how else to explain it. They just scattered in every direction. Ski Free Yeti ended up on the high ground, but I'm not sure that was planned. I think it just kind of happened.
You have experience with that, Juke?
No comment.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's me for the first half of the game. It's DDoS up. Down currently 0-2 against Boop. Don't leave your seats, though. We've got more Overwatch action coming at you in just a little bit. All right, everybody, welcome back to Overwatch Tranquility Season 4 Week 2. It's Boop versus DDoS still currently going on. Boop is at the moment up 2-0. DDoS looking a little bit rough right now, but they've shown us some very promising stuff, and I think we're in for an exciting map as we head to King's Row. Juke, how's your halftime?
It was great. I'm very surprised with how well Boop did on Volskaya. You know, control, I'll always say it can be a little back and forth. You're never really, you know, too broken up about losing a control map, but just dominant on Volskaya. Not even running, you know, these off-meta heroes. So DDoS, you know, they knew what was coming, but just getting outperformed on an individual level, I think, as well as a team level. I liked the decisions that were coming out from Boop.
Yeah, I feel like Boop is just performing on both levels. Like you mentioned, I feel like DDoS, they've shown us a lot of really promising individual stuff from Ski Free Yeti, from their tank line, from their Mei, but it's really not amounted to anything. And we saw in the last round on Volskaya 2CP, a map type where it's really dependent on your ability to track and control the ultimate game to make those solidified pushes onto the point. And it's just, that feels like it's what the real weakness of DDoS is, their ultimate game in general.
Well, that said, it's very easy to be ahead in the ultimate game when you get to clean up lots of retreating heroes after a few fights. That'll always give you a lot of extra percentage. But I would be, I'm just going to shoehorn it in here. I would be remiss to not mention what happened last season on the podcast with a certain caster, Ski Free Yeti, mentioning a third tier. And I'm not talking about Transcendence tier. When Boop was, struggling in the middle of the season, they were going through a rebuild. He had mentioned that there's a Discord tier, a Harmony tier, and a Boop tier. And it got some laughs, but it's really one of the, more negative things I've heard on the podcast. He has since said that he didn't mean for it to...
confirmed.
Yeah, he has said that he didn't mean for it to be quite so toxic as it came out. But this really is a redemption story here for Boop. They finished near the bottom of the table last season, and they have been looking excellent so far.
Yeah, it's been a real turnaround. I think they made some excellent changes. Of course, all these players pretty new to the league, and so, or the community. Whoa. Pardon me. I know the Ski Free's in the game. He can't punish me now.
True. He'll get you later.
He'll get me later. But he's got his own problems right now, as his McCree is making an assault here onto the point. He's got to hold on strong though here as DDoS are forced back off. They're gonna have to re-engage at some point though. They're giving up a tick willingly, and I believe they still have all 6 members alive. Unless something happened that I completely missed, they're just allowing Boop to do whatever they want.
Yeah, after May got picked off in the beginning of that fight, really a troubling situation there for DDoS. And I feel like they probably shouldn't have gone in the way they did. It was just a little unorganized. It didn't seem like they were waiting for any particular opening or really moving together. We've seen a lot of moments where DDoS just kind of panic and all start doing their own things. But I want to mention, again, Trippy Cow was a great tank last season. And I like what he's doing here on the McCree. He's taking these off angles to punish Mix Ready, sort of not protecting his whole team as they're getting a little separated. So I think that tank knowledge is really coming in handy and giving him something to do. That said, I feel like they could be doing a lot more with the D.Va play. They should be a little more aggressive, but Rubik's here deciding to go to Zarya, give them an extra shield power. Oh, and they're going to squish Kenny into the wall there.
Yeah, now trying to disengage with the wall of their own, but DDoS have more villainous intentions here as they make their way forward on the push, trying to clean up these kills. Getting cut off though, it's 2 members here of DDoS, and all of a sudden how the tables have turned Mix Ready now on the back foot as the kills are all down, and it's 6 members of DDoS going down, getting a little too cocky, getting a little frozen up by Waffleman.
Yeah, I felt like they were just assuming the fight was over there, getting the ultimate onto Rubik's to get him a little bit of extra charge. It didn't seem like he was even, at that much Zarya energy when they popped it there. Oh, Mr. Trippy Cow! Not able to break.
Nope, and now down 2 members. They're forced to back off. And Juke, you've heard the saying, there's no such thing as a free lunch, but I'm not gonna lie. This one feels about as free as they come.
Yeah, they're just not really recovering. Rubik's going back to the D.Va now. So it seems like they're really not sure what to do. This will give them the ability to eat those very powerful Moira orbs, but Rubik's needs to make something happen. D.Va is a playmaking hero in this meta with the short cooldown on that. Ski for Yeti, another zoning ultimate, does buy them some space, but not getting any kills.
They've got the wall on Kenny though. They get to push in off of this. The flashbang lands on a 3, and the shatter lands on a 4! It's Mix Ready, showing him who's boss. Denial of service here for Boop.
Yeah, just when we were counting him out, great shatter there from Mix Ready to keep his team in it. As I was saying, I'd like to see Rubik's be a little more active here. D.Va is a very active hero with the short cooldown on these boosters. It can be difficult to not get frozen and punished, but you need to be taking angles, and there's plenty of places to do that on King's Row. Lots of high ground for you to fly to and get that constant damage in.
I mean, you'd be remiss not to mention the fact that Rubik's is searching for this. He knows that Olayla has the Graviton Surge, but he's got to find it first. The Sound Barrier coming out here from Boop as they look to push in. Olayla finds Blue, going to be denying anything that'd be coming out from that Lucio. In fact, his Sound Barrier is out of the question now. Trippy Cow on the flank, not able to find anything. A big zoning. Oh no, he might get slapped out by the on here. He's down low, but the McCree not quite going down yet. Ski for Yeti though, running him down. He gets the healing orb, but it's not enough to stop the damage that Ski for Yeti has to offer. 4 minutes and 5 seconds on the clock, and DDoS are actually making a little bit of a dent into this time bank.
Yeah, a little bit of a wishful thinking there from Trippy Cow. Okay, looks like he was going to be swapping over to the Junkrat, looking for that extra shield break that they've been getting, which has been doing well. DDoS has been playing kind of passive, as I've mentioned, so punishing that shield can be a great way to really get it over on a team that's not pushing into you.
And that's the thing, is like you mentioned, they're just playing back. They're getting aggressed here, and now the ultimate advantage is given over to Boop, and they're going to use every last bit of it. But Ski for Yeti has the Deadeye, always finding one. In fact, searching for more, but his own teammate, your teammate, is going to be going down. Now the wall's coming out here from Boop, well placed, going to be cutting off Rubik's, taking a lot of damage. The Nano Force out here. He's trying to find some damage, but absolutely nothing is going down on the side of Boop here. In fact, taking out Let's Break It means that main support is gone, means a lot of the healing is gone here for DDoS. The push is free, but can they take advantage of it? No. Your teammate, Ski for Yeti, start the cleanup on point. Mr. Chibica's trying to piece it together, but the spawns just are too much here for Boop to handle.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what Boop had available at the beginning of that fight, but the problem with fighting into these final points is you need to get a lot of kills all at once. DDoS doing a great job just keeping someone on the point at all times. The point never moves, despite they were really losing most of that fight, able to drag it out. Good defense here, only 240 left.
The Diva Bomb chucked over, the Shatter comes out, Rubik finds two! Perfectly done combo by the tanks here of DDoS, and they're going to be rewarded well for it.
Yeah, really able to use that combo well. Puts you in such a difficult decision with the Rhine. MixReady maybe would have been able to get into the doorway so that he's not forced to make that decision. But good punish from MixReady on the bomb from Rubik. And it looks like Chicane swapping over to the Mercy. The damage boost can be kind of nice for McCree, I guess, but I'm not a big fan of this. I feel like the Moira's doing well.
I mean, they've got the boost for the Junkrat. That means that MixReady's shield is going to last all of about a second here. That does a lot of damage going down into it. Oh, but no, I believe the May was actually stunned out of it, but it doesn't matter because the tire comes down from over top. Takes out two members of Ski Free, and Let's Break It going down. And the kills are going to be going the way of Boop, but they have to find a few more before they finish off this point. Ski Free Yeti has one of those Deadeyes loaded up and seemingly guaranteed DDoS a kill up to this point. Will they be able to continue to do it, though? They decide to go out split doors here as MixReady moves out the right. The rest of the team moves out the left. But Ski Free is tracking back through spawn. It's a curious choice, but it doesn't matter because the rest of the team's going down onto the point. The sound barrier is used from both ends here, but Mr. Trippy Cow has so much damage from the high ground. But MixReady, he finds another 4 members with the Shatter. Is the healing going to be enough to keep everyone alive? In fact, there will be. MixReady finds Layla, cuts off those bubbles, and Ski for Yeti does it when his team needs the most. Finds 2 kills, 1 with the Deadeye, 1 with his own hand. The mouse is going to be enough there. His aim, just enough to find those kills.
Yeah, and once again, DDoS really doing really well to stabilize in these longer engages and always have somebody on the point to prevent progress. Despite the fact that fight lasted about 30 or 40 seconds, Kurt, again, really does not move once the fight starts. So good defense here from DDoS. 40 seconds left. This is basically one fight territory. They're relying on a lane to get a bit of grab.
But Blue does not have any sound barrier for this grab, so it's gonna be up to Rubik to eat it. But oh no, Layla drops very low. If this Zarya goes down, it could be a disaster here for Boot moving in on the last point. They had so much time moving in, but with just 25 seconds left, they're down to 1 push. They've got to do it here. They've got the ultimates to do it. And Trippy Cow's engaging with the tire, goes in over top. The Graviton Surge drops, and that's 2 members going down. They've still got more to lay on top of it, though, as the Shatter. They're laying on the ultimates, they're laying them on thick, and the kills just aren't coming in here for DDoS. They don't have the firepower, they don't have the cavalry coming in. In fact, it's going to be Boop ending this map, possibly not even in overtime. That could be huge here. 2 minutes on the clock, or 2 seconds. 1 just done here for Boop.
Yeah, so Boop, I feel like they're all but guaranteeing a next map here. Getting 2 seconds on the clock, and Kings Row in this meta, very difficult to cap all the way out. Finally able to chain those kills together quickly, which is what you need to cap a final point. I have to mention Rubik's doing a better job. He really put the pressure on Alayla, able to get Alayla down to like 1 bar of health, which would have prevented the big Graviton from coming in, not able to finish the kill. And after DDoS recovered, after Boop recovered, they were able to push in and finish it off. So a lot happening in that fight, but Boop able to finish it out.
Yeah, much more promising final point there for DDoS. Cutting that time down is significant. I believe they hit that last point with something like 5.5 minutes on the clock. And so DDoS, they can be happy with that. But as far as their play in general goes, I think it still needs work. It looked better. Obviously, they did have the spawn advantage. I feel like Boop was maybe playing a little bit too aggressively with their spawns trickling in just a little bit. But DDoS, while they look better, I think you can kind of turn around and look at what happened on the last point. There were a lot of really clutch plays from a lot of the players on DDoS, but at no point was it a concerted team effort to find the kills. Boop was, you'll see out of Boop, all 6 members of DDoS are dying at nearly the same time from different members of Boop because the push is coming in extremely well from them. They're very coordinated. And DDoS, you're just not seeing the same thing. They'll make their way in off of a pick, off of something small, but it's really just not the same coordinated style.
Yeah, I have to mention here. Okay, so Ski-Free does swap off the Widow, but it looks like we're going to have a defensive pharmacy coming in from Waffleman and Chicane. It looks like this is starting to be kind of a comfort pick for Chicane, and they're running up Moira on Enchanted, so not quite what we're used to seeing. Rubik's going to have to do a lot of work here. There's a lot of targets that are going to be his responsibility.
As well, Ski-Free punishing Waffleman whenever he's up in the air, but he's got to get the angle first. The DDoS are just stuck behind the statue, and they're wasting a lot of time here. Waffleman tries to push forward, gonna be pushed away by Rubik's, but yes, again, they just have to back up, and it's this stagnant play that you really just can't have. We mentioned them not being aggressive, but this is just taking it too far.
Yeah, they need to make something happen here. They're just waiting and getting damage into their shield forever. It's painful to watch. I want them to be more decisive. I want Rubik's to be more aggressive. They gotta have some confidence and try to make some plays happen.
And this might just be it. They find the wall onto Kenny, but now McFreddy stuck in the middle of those two. A nice anti-nade lands down onto 3 members here of Boop. This is going to be their best opportunity to push, but they just don't have the damage. The May here from Mr. Trippy Cow is cutting off everyone. Now McFreddy getting a little bit over-aggressive, but then Adam's going to be keeping him alive for right now. Kenny charges straight through, finds your teammate, and that's a lot of that sustained gun that they needed, but the sound barrier will be dropped, as well as the Shatter finds 2. The Blizzard on point, though, looking to freeze up everybody on DDoS. Finds 4. He's dished out the damage onto McFreddy, but he's being kept alive by the Ana, saving his life, but his entire back line disappears from sight.
Yeah, and you see, even when the Nano comes in, McFreddy a little tentative, not willing to just swing that hammer and try to get some frags. Not sure why he's holding back. I want to see some more aggression out of DDoS here. 2 minutes left on the clock. DDoS has to win this map to stay in it.
And Mr. Trippy Cow finds Let's Break It. The sports are gone. DDoS forced back into their spawn with 2 minutes left on the clock. This feels awful, and like you've been saying, there's a lot of I wants when it comes to this DDoS roster. There's a lot of things that are very team-based that you want. And it's not just players underperforming. It feels like they're all individually playing very well, but it's those I wants that you can really just point out with an entire team that are what's killing them right now.
Yeah, they're just really not hitting that next gear that Boop has seemed to have found here. Lots of ultimates available for Boop. Here comes the Daddy from Ski-Free to buy some space, but they're just going to be able to wait it out.
It does allow DDoS up onto the high ground, though. This is going to be a pretty advantageous position for them and their composition. Ski-Free wants that high ground. Trippy Cow can't reach them. The bomb's dropped on the backside, but a nice wall out of Mr. Trippy Cow saves his Reinhardt's life. And now Waffleman drops the barrage, finds 2. Chicane picks up Kenny. And now, with the members of DDoS going down for one last time, there's 58 seconds on the clock, and it's desperation at this point.
Yeah, and it looks like the wall actually gets Kenny pinned, but it does save a lot of the team from that bomb that came in the back of Rubik's. So I guess you're willing to take that one. Oh no, and the D-Mech! Rubik's didn't have to swap back. This is basically one fight territory. We need to see something big here, but Alayla has the grav ready.
He's actually going to stay on the Wrecking Ball.
Okay. So he will be able to get the touch.
And there's no more immortality here in the back pocket of Blue. He's got to make his push onto this point, but Alayla has a Graviton Surge. It's going to be a perfect counter to the fact that they've wasted that critical ability. Now McFreddy has to push in with very little resources. The wall comes in. Kenny's walled off, but now it's the ball stuck between that hard place. McFreddy looks for the shatter, gets blocked off. Wolfman's got another barrage in his back pocket. It's 1, 2, 3 kills here as Alayla cleans up McFreddy. And that final push is all over as map 3 goes the way of Boop, and they take the series. Don't go, though. We've got one more map for you.
Yeah, dominant performance from Boop here. A full hold on 2 maps. That is not something you see very often. I'm very impressed with what I'm seeing out of Boop here. Great individual play, great team play. They're making the right decisions. Even though they're playing off heroes sometimes, I mostly agree with what they're doing. I'm just not sure what we can fault from Boop. This is a great performance.
No, it really is. And cleaning up 3-0 right now is exactly what they need to prove themselves moving forward. DDoS, I think, has a lot to work on. And it's kind of weird to look at it because if you look back at the first map, they looked very, very strong on Li Jiang. They ended up taking the first point in a pretty commanding fashion. They used their ultimates appropriately. They found the kills when they needed them. But honestly, Boop look like they're in their own tier right now.
Yeah, I have to say, this is probably the strongest performance we've seen out of any Harmony tier, maybe Comets. They also looked very strong in the preseason. I'm not sure when or if these teams match up. I haven't looked at the pools or, figured out who the big matchups are, but I definitely love to see that. And it looks like it is going to be DDoS pick again of escort maps, Gibraltar, Havana, or Route 66. I think I'd like to see them pick Gibraltar and just kind of mix things up, maybe run some dive, open it up a little bit, see if that will sort of break what Boop has been doing. So we'll see. And there's also going to be some swaps, so I have to do lobby stuff.
Yeah, good luck with that one, Juke. Don't mess it up. But like you mentioned, Gibraltar might be what DDoS need. Mix it up a little bit. But honestly, I feel like Boop have so many interesting picks in their back pocket that DDoS want to play the map that's just favored most to this Reinhardt D.Va composition, and that requires them to use the ultimates the absolute least. And I've got to say, the one that sticks out to me has got to be Route 66. Going to be one of those ones that's difficult to finish, but if you take it there, you can make it so that it's just so you can get the furthest with their ultimates that they're given. But I don't think there's any real point on Route 66 where you have to make a massive concerted effort to push in with ultimates, get a clean fight to make progress on the map. And I think that's what DDoS need, honestly. I think they need to realize their weaknesses when they're picking a map like this.
Yeah, there's... I would say sections 1 and 2 are more open, which is what I was asking for. I think it'll give us a chance to see some different looks out of DDoS. It can be very difficult to cap through section 3 once you get indoors in the little hangar. I'm not sure what I want to see different from DDoS here. I feel like they were even hitting the beats that we mentioned. Rubik's was more aggressive. The team was a little more aggressive in general, but it feels like they're just getting outplayed.
Yeah, Boop look incredible right now. And I think that, honestly, there's a lot to say for Boop. We've spoken the woes of DDoS for a good while now and what we want to see out of them, but there's so much that Boop is doing really perfectly right now, and it's to the point that has given us so little to comment on. It hasn't required anybody to make massive plays. They're relying on incredible teamwork and really, really solid fundamentals, and it means that their players don't have to do stuff like that. And even when they do, we saw massive plays come out from the far in the last map, ending fights with 3 kills to her name, and Boop look great on every front.
Yeah, and this is what I always tell when I'm coaching people. If you're a DPS and I'm pointing out what you're doing, you're playing well. If you are on tank or support and I'm not mentioning you very often, that's fine. Like, you just have to not die, be stable. Alayla and Kinney have been doing a great job on the front line. The supports have been doing a lot to extend these fights and keep things out. So very unusual comp that we're seeing here. Your teammate on the Sombra, which we almost never see. There's also running Ball Winston on the defense and Ski Free Yeti on the Widow. So very different here, and we'll see if it works out.
Let Ski Free not play Widow, apparently. Waffle Man takes him out.
Okay, it looks like there was
a weird little glitch for the Widowmaker. I suspect it may have been the one where the rifle shows up in the sights. I could be wrong, though. We're getting confirmation. The producer says that's exactly what it was. Apologies for that, but we'll try and, we'll send that one over to Jeff.
All right, we will pick up the red phone, get Jeff on it immediately. It'll never happen again. This is the last time.
Yeah, he'll get the warning. He might get fired if he's not too careful here. But you know what? Boop looked perfectly fine at this point, despite Ski Free's woes. And Rubik's is going to be looking for the flame here, and this is going to be the fight that they want. They're in the open space. They've got the damage to do it. Alayla aggressively dives the high ground, and a ski freeze Torbjorn now gonna be holding onto that when the turret goes down. Waffleman dives through it. Now this high ground is being forced to be given up by Boop. And so DDoS now on the low ground have to hold on, but they just don't have the survivability to do it. They're being dove inside of the gas station. There's just too much damage going down. The Primal Rage gonna be chucked in by MixReady. The survivability is there, but the kills aren't. Trippy Cow goes down, but that's only 1 kill to the 5 that Boop have managed to find.
Yeah, and at this point, you have to wonder what's going on with DDoS. You don't know if it's full tilt. You don't know if they're just at the very end of the playbook with the experimental section. If they're, just trying to have some fun. But we're seeing the Dwarf come out. We're seeing Sombra. We're seeing all sorts of weird combinations. They're definitely getting some stall. Oh, Trippy Cow able to get a pick. Yeah, they're able to stall it out. Looks like they're gonna use the
Oh
EMP.
my goodness. Yeah, they're gonna go for it here. MixReady starting to dish out the damage. That EMP might just be enough. It catches out the Mercy. The Mercy drops low but doesn't go down, and the kills are cleaned up here for Boop. But honestly, this feels like the I don't even know. It was a SpongeBob episode where Plankton's going through his whole filing cabinet of plans. He goes all the way down to Plan Z, and that's right about where DDoS are right now.
Yeah, just about any knowledge or wisdom that you were looking for, it was probably in the SpongeBob episode. As we move into section 2 here, Blue totally out of position, way ahead of his team, gets picked off easily. It feels like DDoS maybe just kind of melting down here.
That's what it looks like. The dive's coming in. It's completely picked apart. Rubik's is sitting on the cart trying to pick off Mr. Trippy Cow. The McCree still hasn't died here for the red team, and now pushing their way in. DDoS might actually have a somewhat decent fight, and just as I say that, the team gets split up again. They lose members, and Rubik's was actually contesting for a very long time here, but the cart will continue forward.
Yeah, only able to get 1 kill, and it is erased by Happy Bee on that Mercy. So I'm not sure if it's a team thing. Another player comes in still playing Mercy, so I guess they just favor it. But yeah, this has been... I don't believe that Boop has lost a fight. I think it's just been stall coming out for DDoS. It's getting a little ugly out there.
They've got 4 ultimates, but so do Boop. They're gonna chuck the bomb into that little high ground room as Rubik makes his own one-man assault onto the cart. Backs his way out. No, now the dive is coming in, and the nanoed Winston looks to do it. The sound barrier comes out to try and counter this blade, but swinging through will be Waffleman. Doesn't find the kills that he's searching for on that side of the map, so he turns around, goes the other way to where Kinney and Alayla are ending Blue and Ski for Yeti's life. The Molten Core did not matter, and neither will the rest of this hold, because Rubik's and MixReady are just going to be going down on cart very quickly.
Yeah, things just falling apart here. Clearly, they are missing Thuggington. I also have been corrected. I believe he's in Mexico, not the Caribbean. They're both nice. That's the important thing.
He's on vacation, and you know what? I don't think he's too sad to be missing this one right now. As DDoS are just struggling. They'll make their way onto the cart, but there's only 5 members here. Barely any support coming out right now. Ski for Yeti goes down to Waffleman, but the sound barrier will be used here for the side of Boop, but they're just holding onto this car with an iron grip as it continues forward. They don't even lose their Mercy right now. Oh, finally going down. Happy Bee. Caster's cursed it, but this push should just be coming through very easily for Boop.
Yeah, we see more changes coming in. Trippy with a 4K, really cleaning up on whatever the strategy is. So now they're swapping over to Baptiste and Brigitte, which is not a combination I remember seeing anytime recently.
New goats, Juke.
Yeah.
Program.
Everything is still a goat's name. We still have to call everything some variation of goats, despite it being dead. Looks like another blade coming in, able to take down the lamp, moves on to the rest of the team, and another fight cleaned up by Boop. Somehow, they have held to 20 left on the clock, so I guess not a total disaster for the defense here by Boop. As more swaps in, now we're seeing Let's Break It on the Zenyatta. I think they're trying to complete the full hero cycle and just get all of them out of the way. So that way they can say they played every hero this season.
Yeah, it's like that conspiracy with the Owl teams playing different heroes because they don't want their main ones to get banned.
It makes sense. They're thinking ahead. This is good planning from DDoS.
Exactly, but now they still do want to stop Boop, at least Actually, you know what? No, they're not even making it look like they want to stop them right now. Boop just continue this leisurely stroll through Route 66, end up pushing through. The Mercy gets the easy res onto her own Lucio. Car continues forward. 1 minute 40 left on the clock, but there's 6 ultimates loaded up into the magazine of the rifle that is Boop. And I honestly, this is so ridiculous. The fights go down, but absolutely nothing happens in favor of DDoS. Nobody dies. Let's Break It goes down first. The bomb trucked onto the point. Looks to clear it off. Mr. Trippy out from the high ground. It's Waffle Man, though, finding 2 melee kills onto the Genji. Kenny makes his way through on the Winston, finding 2 of his own, saying, anything you can do, I can do better. Waffle Man already has another blade in his back pocket, and he's going to chuck it out immediately. Next ready, trying to stagger as long as he can with this Primal Rage. Manages to get a little bit of time on the clock, but Rubik's rolls in on the ball. Trying to find, there's a lot of trying going down here for DDoS, not a lot of doing. And a lot of really interesting hero picks, but nothing that seems like it's been able to do it. Maybe they can stagger down into overtime here, which actually might matter if they can complete the map on their own side, but not much happening. Your teammate finds the first pick in what feels like forever here for DDoS as they make their way onto the point, but I feel like that's just exactly what's been happening. Like I mentioned, it's just making their way onto the point one at a time, find the stagger, see if you can hold on until that overtime with 30 seconds left. It does seem relatively likely here if they play it correctly. We've seen them mess it up once before. Let's see if they can do it properly again. Kenny has the Primal Rage that he's been looking for. But the more members of DDoS have stuck him on this point, the more likely it seems. 19 seconds left. The high noon comes out here, looking to close this one out. Doesn't find anybody though. Your teammate goes down here on the Tracer, and wait a minute.
I don't think it's gonna happen. Blade comes out. I know what you're thinking. Waffle Man able to clean up. 2.7 left on the clock. Somehow not an awful defense from DDoS. Looks like the plan is just throw people at the cart, sort of clog up the engine with a mound of corpses. I'm not sure. It seems to be kind of working.
I feel like I'm in an Overwatch theory course. Like, we're just trying to figure out what's going on. Like, the cogs are turning here for DDoS, and there's just like smoke blowing out each of our ears, Juke.
Yeah, DDoS rewriting the Overwatch playbook. You are seeing it live in front of you. This is the revolution. DDoS showing how it's done, I guess.
I'm really excited to see what they come out on. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like a kid on Christmas.
All right, so what have we not seen yet? We have not seen Ash. So we need to get Ash. Some big dynamite. Okay, so they are lining up. They are absolutely have to keep this now. On the double shield, Bastion, Torb, Brigitte, and Baptiste.
Juke, you might know this. Can Skifree be reported for throwing as a member of the admin team?
Apparently, they're doing a Congo Lion in the spawn. Very just reinventing how to do pre-game taunts as well. I really appreciate what's going on here, and they will stick with it. And as well, double shield coming out from Boop, deciding not to be outdone on the.
Oh, wait, Waffle Man's locked in a Torbjorn as well.
Ooh, double Torb. Are we gonna see the hammer versus hammer? Everybody just move to the sides. That's how we should decide this match. But it looks like they're cowards. Bastion's going to set up in the back. Mr. Trippy Cow going for him.
Oh no, your teammate goes down to the flank Kree in the back line. And he finally gets punished for it, but not before Waffleman finds Mix ready. And now it's free real estate here for Boop as they continue forward. And they'll actually get to set up pretty much however they want with their own Torbjorn.
Waffleman had the chance for the hammer kill. Decides to show some mercy. But they are holding up close here, not giving an inch to DDoS.
It's hard to play Bastion when you're living in your own spawn right now. It looks like your teammate's having a pretty bad time. The Torbjorn isn't awful here from Skifree, but I think the Bastion's really what's not working. There's just too much damage for these shields to work with the semi-recent shield changes. Now trying to change up their approach just a little bit as they make their way up through the high ground. Mix ready splits himself up. Mortality field, though, has to be used to keep your teammate alive, but now he does get to get the damage out. Blue finds one kill, searching for more through the amplification matrix. It's going to be the big flux that ends up finding Kenny on the back end. Now the member's finally going down. Your teammate can set up wherever he wants, but he's facing down the junk right here of Mr. Trippy Cow. He doesn't quite get to have the high ground that he wants, but nonetheless, DDoS continue forward.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I've seen a Sigma ult, and it's definitely been a while since I've seen one since the change where he ults and does not die. So good job from Rubik's there, remembering that you need to survive to make that work. And DDoS, 2 minutes left on the clock. I believe they have a great chance here. Oh, and Waffle Man getting picked off too far out on the Hanzo, a bit too big for his britches, and now they're going to have to recontest one man down.
Oh, but they're facing down the Gravitic Flex. It picks up two. Your teammate, though, just has the angle that he wants here. Pushing forward. It's not enough to keep him alive, though. Torbjorn Turd on the cart doing work right now, but not enough to stop Boop's crusade forward. Mix ready, and Blue trying to hold on, healing to his heart's content, but not able to close out. Ski Free throws down the Molten Core onto the cart, not able to find anybody but Waffle Man, but the push nonetheless ended by Boop.
Let's break it. Trying to sneak by. I think Alele was just staring at Let's Break It a bit confused, and then decides to finish it off. So 1:30 left on the clock. A lot of ultimates expended. There's the Ash. They're listening. They know they have to complete the all-hero challenge. Here it comes, and your teammate, maybe he'll make something happen with the big tank mode coming up.
They must be watching the stream. Consequentially, it's just at the point where the delay would have heard that Ash had not been played. Your teammate, though, makes his way out, gets balled out, gets taken down. Immortality Field, nay, say Boop, Mortality Field, as the Bastion goes down. And the rest of the push comes in. Let's break it, though. Takes Sasha Kane.
The Reddit Lucio. The Reddit Lucio doing it.
The Reddit Lucio comes through in Ski Free.
Oh my god, he's going to get another.
This might happen. They're pushing through. Rubik's finds two there with the Gravitic Flux. The Blizzard goes down on point, but it's not enough to keep Let's Break It away from it. Let's break it. Looking for everybody. He's found another. Waffle Man goes down. It's the 1v1 versus the main. No, hey, the 2v1. Chicane makes his way back into the cart and ruins all of Let's Break It's fun.
That was basically a 4K there from Let's Break It. He did get a kill stolen. The no honor kill from Rubik's, not letting his Reddit Lucio do his thing. Wow, great job there, but only 15 seconds left on the clock. It's going to be very difficult for them to get through. Looks like this little turret expedition from your teammate and Mixready is going to get cleaned up. The lamp thrown a little too far, and I think that is going to be it for DDoS. We're just going to watch Let's Break It do his best. They do get the touch.
He's going to touch. He's going to get frozen and the Gravitic Flux to end it all. Yeah, that's going to be all that DDoS have to offer, but I'll be damned if it wasn't entertaining as Boop take the night 4-0.
Yeah, finishing this match 8-0, looking like one of the strongest teams in Harmony right now. 3 full holds in a row after they drop, I believe it was the first section of control on Lijiang. Just a dominant performance from Boop coming up. A great job all around. DDoS, they really did not look, I would say they didn't look weak. They were just getting outperformed here.
No, DDoS definitely going home with a lot of stuff to work on, and Boop, I will sing their praises from here on. Never again shall anyone say Boop tier because they look incredible right now. They're definitely a major player here in the Harmony tier. But as for tonight, that's going to be all that we have coming out for you. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Later on in the week, though, we do have some more Discord and Transcendent tier action on Thursday and Friday, respectively. Again, though, that's all we've got for tonight. Thank you for coming out. I have been Door at Door_cast on Twitter. With me has been Juke. Juke, is there anything you want to shout out?
Big thanks to Booth, his first time in the production. He's been doing great tonight. I've liked what I've seen on the stream. Thumbs up from me. I also want to thank Cavalier. He helped me finish the new map intros that you've been seeing throughout this week, and I believe we had some of last week. Yeah, I just want to make sure everybody's aware. So Thursday we have Instalock, the new Instalock with only Sacred Wallace returning against Airstrike, with the only Tranquility player being Cryptic Force. I am looking forward to that one. And Houston In-Laws and Volume 51 both making their premiere in Transcendence. That is going to be on Friday. So yeah, I had a lot of fun tonight. Thanks so much for watching.